Hey, what's up? You ready to give him a call here?
Yeah, I'll give him one. Or I'll give him one right now.
Okay.
Hey, Nate.
Hi.
Hey, I have Rich on the line.
Hey.
Okay, Nate. So I'll give you a rundown here. Did you have any questions for me before we get started here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So here's I'll give you kind of a rundown where we're coming from here. So we were looking at it from a cash offer perspective, right? Because I know ultimately you want to move as quickly as possible. But I'll just be straight up with you, just like you've been with me with everything. The issue with the cash offer is with it being a 2-1 and with it being in a smaller town and there not being, there's some upside on there, but it's already in pretty decent condition overall, and it wouldn't really make sense for us to rip everything out and put brand new or to build onto it and essentially make like a new house, like add bedrooms and all that. It's just that probably isn't the best use for the house. So like a cash offer, it would be possible for us to make an offer, but it's not going to be a win-win, right? Because it would have to be below the mortgage amount, and I know obviously that's not really helping you out. Paying to sell your house obviously isn't going to make sense. However, I do have another option that I was really looking to get you qualified for. And I think you and Ace may have discussed something similar in the past. And we have some pretty standardized, it may even be either similar or identical paperwork. However, you'll be working with me and my team, and we do these types of deals like literally all over the country. And we do them at a very high level. And we're very specific on which ones that we take on, because it takes a lot of resources on our end, and we only get paid when the deal gets done. So we only take on ones. One, we don't want to waste your time. And two, for us, if the deal doesn't get done, we got all these people working on it for free. And obviously like business wise, that doesn't, it's not a good model, right? So the good news is this, all right? I was able to get an approval for the concierge service, and the net result for you is going to be very similar to a cash offer, where you don't have to spend any money on repairs. You don't have to deal with agents. You don't have to take these phone calls from all these yahoos and texts from people all around the world. Like, it's a hands-off experience where we basically will just deliver the result. And we call it the concierge service. And what I can do is I'm going to shoot everything over to you, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised on the price point, because like a cash offer was coming in the 30s, and obviously that's a definite no. That's not going to work. With this though, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, and I'm going to shoot it over, and I'll just kind of explain all the details right now. Okay, and if you can check your email for me, there should be something from DocuSign, and you'll have to hit the review document button once you're in the email, and then you'll have to hit OK a couple times for it to go to the website. Okay, so I shortened my pitch because he already got the concierge service pitch from my course member that's a JV partner that he ghosted. Okay, and let me know once you got that cooking here, and I'll just kind of run through all the details.
Let's see.
Okay. So let me pull this up here. So just to clarify too, we're not going to be representing you as a realtor in any capacity. Like we're going to have, likely there'll be realtors working on the back end with us, but you're not going to have to pay them and you're not really going to have to deal with them. That'll just be on the back end. But I'm just kind of disclosing. I know you probably don't care how we get it done, just that we get it done. But there is like a legal difference between like representing you as a realtor and what it is that we're doing. So we're actually going to be reselling our contract to a third party, but we do this on a high level where we only take on deals that we're certain we can get done. Obviously, we have an obligation to you to not waste your time and an obligation to ourselves to make sure it gets done. So, it keeps everybody honest and our interests are like 100% aligned because we only get paid when you get paid. Like we don't charge you 1 penny for this whole deal. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of run through all the details real quick. I'm just pulling this offer back up. Okay, here we go. All right. So you'll see there on the price. So you will be receiving every penny of $55,000. Okay. Now, the only thing that's going to come out of that is whatever the mortgage payoff is, if there's any taxes owed, or if there's any pre-existing debt. So you'll see on, we do pay all closing costs. So, and there's a section in that in the contract that I'll run through in just a second. We pay closing costs, if there's any attorney's fees, any commissions. So those things that I mentioned, that's the only thing that will come out of your end. The $100 is what's called legal consideration, and that just makes the contract valid and binding. So that's just a technicality. I have the closing. This is our standard closing time frame is on or before 60 calendar days. Now, with the property being vacant and nothing really slowing us down, we want to move as fast as humanly possible. So it's very likely it's going to be quicker than that because we have no reason to drag this out, but it's going to take a little bit of time because we're going to have to do some marketing and negotiation with our people, and we're going to have to take this thing from A to Z. But we'll have the understanding that we're all trying to get this done as soon as humanly possible. You'll see number 4. It says the parties agree that the property is being sold as is, with all defects being at the sole risk of the buyer. So that's us. All right. Seller is not responsible for any repairs of any kind whatsoever. Seller does not warrant the condition of the property or improvements thereon. Seller shall maintain the property in its current condition until closing, except for normal wear and tear. So with you not living there, that shouldn't be an issue, but don't throw any crazy parties or anything between now and then. Number 5, closing costs. So buyer, that's us, shall pay all closing costs. So title insurance, title search, municipal lien search, inspection, survey, if any recording fees for the deed, we pay those as well. Okay. So we are going to need access to the property, and with it being vacant, normally the easiest way to do that is if we can get our local person down there to get like a key exchange, and then we can put it on like a contractor's lockbox. Now, we have the option. Some people want us to contact them whenever we need to access it, just so they know, the comings and goings of everything. That's totally fine. Some people don't want to be bothered or don't care. That's also fine. So we can kind of work that around your needs, however you want to do that. Number 8, title evidence and insurance. Okay, so this is just saying we're going through a licensed title company, and I believe it's closing attorneys out there in Nebraska. That's not really my department, but it says buyer shall obtain a title commitment and owner's policy from an escrow agent, who also shall act as title agent and closing agent. Buyer shall notify seller of any title defects. Closing may be delayed up to 30 days to clear title if there are title defects. I noticed too, I looked on the public record, it looked like there was a quit claim deed on there at some point. Is that ringing a bell? Did you do a quit claim deed?
Right, yeah, my ex-wife, I bought that shortly before we got divorced. She did a quick claim deed for her.
Okay.
Her name was on title.
That may be sufficient. they may need for her to sign like a disclaimer deed as well. Are you guys in contact if there is something that she needs to sign?
We can be.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It may be fine how it sits, but I just wanted to make sure like she's not like, you know, in some other country and you haven't talked to her in years or something like that. Okay. No problem there. All right. And then, okay, moving right along. And there's no title defects or anything that you're aware of, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Number 9, assignability and novation. Okay, so an assignment would be if our third-party purchaser is paying cash, which it's probably about a 50-50 chance if they're paying cash or if they're paying with a loan. Novation is just if they're paying with a loan. Okay, so we have like a multi-tiered process on how we sell these deals. So there is a chance it could be a cash buyer, and if we have that option, we're gonna take that option over a loan because that'll be like way quicker. And then we can get you your money sooner, there's less red tape and no inspections and all that. So that's the angle we're gonna push for. But if we're not able to go that way and the buyer is using a loan, we still wanna take that option too, because then at least we're getting the deal done. So
Right.
this is just disclosing in writing what we've already kind of talked about in conversation. It says buyer reserves the right to assign this agreement to a third-party purchaser or to novate this agreement with a replacement agreement with a third-party purchaser. In either such event, seller shall cooperate fully at buyer's request to transfer title to the property directly to the third-party purchaser. So if they are paying with a loan, we will need you to sign the buyer's offer just because the bank, the lender, isn't going to want to see anyone on that sale agreement except for you. So
Right.
when that happens, that's not going to change anything with our agreement. Our agreement's still going to withstand where you don't have to, pay any of the things we talked about or handle any repairs. So we have a separate document that outlines that. But yeah, like we'll let you know if we do need to do that, and you'll just need to put your autograph on the new offer, and then we'll handle everything from that point forward. It says, provided, however, that the buyer shall be responsible for all additional transfer tax payable by the seller as a result of the novation or assignment. So in some states, there's like an extra transfer tax if you do one of those two things. And it's just saying, if you're normally the person that's responsible for that, we'll pick up the tab for that, just so it doesn't take away from your $55,000. Okay. Disclosures, it says buyer's a private investment company that purchases real estate to make a profit and may be purchasing the property for immediate resale. Seller consents to buyer marketing buyer's contract rights in any manner buyer deems appropriate, including marketing on the multiple listing services. So we have the option of using the multiple listing services. It's where investors and realtors look. We don't do that on every property, but either way, whether we go that way or not, it won't affect your deal. And if realtors come into the picture, we'll handle them, we'll pay them. It'll be hands off for you. And we're not gonna put a sign in the yard since it's vacant. Like we don't wanna encourage any weirdos to go over there or anything. So we'll keep it, keep it under the radar as far as that, just so you know, just a heads up. And it says, if property includes pre-1978 residential housing, a lead-based paint disclosure shall be executed by the parties. So that's just like a standard thing you'll have to sign off on. Seller represents the...
Yeah, I've done that when I used it as a rental for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I mean, normally the buyers don't do like a lead-based paint test, you know what I mean? Normally it's encapsulated in there if there is any, so no big deal. So number 11 is default, attorney's fees, and costs. So in any business transaction, it's always good to like outline from the beginning what happens if somebody doesn't meet their obligations, right? If either we back out or if you back out, this just kind of outlines what that looks like. So for us, the only thing that would cause us to not be able to perform would be if there was some new information that came about that showed us that the deal was no longer valid. Like I'll give an example, the house is overrun with termites, right? So one, if we found something out like that, we would let you know right away. okay? Because we only get paid when the deal closes. So like, we're not making an hourly wage here. We don't get paid to sign contracts. We get paid when the deal gets done. So we would let you know right away. If there was a way for us to fix that, we would present that to you. Where it's like, hey, we can do this termite treatment, blah, blah, blah. But, we would have to make an adjustment in the deal, right? So we would present a potential remedy, or if for whatever reason, if it was unfixable, like if the earth opened up and swallowed the house, obviously there's no house to sell. And we would basically have to just part ways as friends at that point. And if there was a remedy, you would have the option of saying yes or saying no, but there wouldn't be any obligation on either side, right? So we can't just like change the price on you, and nor would we try to, right? We're people of our word. But it says, if buyer fails to perform buyer's obligation under this agreement, seller's sole remedy shall be forfeiture of the deposit as liquidated damages and in full settlement of any and all claims, in which case the parties will be relieved from any further liability under this agreement. So yeah, if we have to part ways, there's no obligation on either side. Now, on the other side of that, if seller fails to perform, so like if your neighbor calls up and tells you, they had a rich uncle that died and they're offering you like $500,000 for the place because they want to move their granny next door. Obviously not a likely scenario, but basically once we enter the agreement, we're on this train together until we reach the promised land. So we're committed to you, you're committed to us. And it basically says, look, if someone tries to go around us, we have the option of going into court to protect our agreement. Now, with that being said, we've never taken a seller to court, and I don't think that we ever will. But it does state in this, if seller fails to perform seller's obligation under this agreement, including closing, buyer shall have all legal and equitable remedies, including the right to seek specific performance. And in any litigation arising out of this agreement, the prevailing party will be entitled to recover from the non-prevailing party costs and fees, including reasonable attorney fees. So it's basically just saying, look, we're making an agreement. Once you move forward with us, you can't sell it to someone else or sell it to 10 other people. Like, we're moving forward on it. We're seeing it through until we get it done. And we have the option of protecting it in court. Basically, whoever the judge decides is in the right, the other person has to pay like the attorney's fees. But obviously, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I know you want, you just want to get rid of this property, and we're the best people to do it. So we'll make it easy on you. Miscellaneous provisions. It says this agreement contains the full and complete understanding and agreements of the buyer and seller. No modification or change to this agreement shall be valid or binding upon the buyer or seller unless in writing and executed by the parties. So I can't just wake up tomorrow and like change the rules of the agreement, or vice versa. Like, anything, if there are any changes that need to be made, everybody has to agree on it. We're going to write it down and we're all going to put our autographs on it just so everything's clear. We're all being treated fairly and we're doing good business. And it says this agreement shall be construed in accordance with the laws of the state of Nebraska. The effective date is the date which the last party initials or signs the latest offer. So that'll be today. If the property is vacant, seller agrees to provide the buyer with a key, and we spoke about that, and access to the property for the purposes outlined in this agreement. Buyer shall not occupy the property prior to closing. So yeah, we're not moving in. We're not bringing our friends over, turning into Airbnb. Like, if we need to access it, it's just going to be for the purpose of bringing our buyers through, or if there's any little fixes that we're going to do in there, it'll be for that purpose, and we'll notify you beforehand. And it says property to be delivered vacant at the close of escrow. And by vacant, we just mean no one living there. So like, if you have stuff that's still there, you don't have to take it out. But
there's some furniture there that like a couple beds and a couch that I was planning on just leaving and offering with the house.
Okay, no, that's fine. Because if it's going to be a hassle for you to pick them up, we can just leave them there, and that's no problem. And then the buyer, they can either keep them or donate them to Goodwill or whatever they want to do. So, and then the last thing is, it says MRW Ventures LLC, that's our company, is entitled to the delta or the difference between the seller price and the buyer price stipulated in the agreement, subject to the terms and conditions outlined therein. So that's how we earn our fee, is we're going to charge a premium to the buyer, and whether we make $1 or we make $1 million on this deal, you'll get every penny of the 55,000 minus the mortgage and any pre-existing debt on the property. So that won't change. Okay, and these other two are actually much easier, and I'll go through these fairly quickly. You'll see the Novation and Indemnification Agreement. This just tells the title company what to do if our third-party buyer is using a loan. So, like I was explaining before, it basically says you get the 55,000 minus the money owed. We have to do anything that's outside of our original agreement with you. So if there's any realtors get to be paid, closing costs, repairs requested by the buyer, we handle all that. And at the end of the day, you get the 55,000 minus your mortgage and debt, and we take care of everything else. And if there's any money left over, that's our profit. And then this third one, the authorization to sign listing docs. This just gives us the option if we want to utilize the MLS and or work with a local licensed agent to help us with paperwork and kind of be our boots on the ground. So since we don't own the property and we aren't representing you as an agent, this piece of paper just allows us to do those things. And that's just for this property, just for the terms of the contract. So you will be signing the buyer's final offer if they're paying with a loan. And of course, whether they pay with a loan or cash, you collect the money at the close of escrow. So the money doesn't like filter through us or anything strange like that. It goes right to you. You sign the final closing docs. You're the one in control for that. Awesome. So if you can just scroll back up to page 1, at the bottom of page 1 is a little colored box in the bottom left-hand corner. And if you tap on that or click on that, it'll give you the option where you can either, if you're feeling artistic, you can draw in your initials with your finger or mouse, or you can just select one of the pre-made ones, but they're both equally valid.
Okay.
And then there should be 4 initial spots, and I believe there's 3 places for your world famous autograph. And then when you're all set, there'll be a finish button as well, and then it should notify me on my end.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. I just got it on my end. I'm gonna put my squiggly on my copy as well. And are you still somewhat in the area, or are you somewhere like I'm thinking for like a key exchange?
I'm actually in St. George, Utah right now. I do have somebody up there that does have a hard copy of the key though.
Oh, okay. Cool.
A hard copy, a copy of the key.
Nice, nice. Okay, cool. Well, we're kind of neighbors then. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, so I'm closer to you than the property.
I was gonna say, yeah, not too far away.
Yeah, I've been to St. George back when I was a door-to-door vacuum salesman in a past life. So we used to go up there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, everybody talks about knocking doors around here. It's like, I'm not sure if I'm the right guy.
Hey, I mean, it's a heck of a way to make a living. You learn a lot doing it, but I don't ever fantasize about going back to it. I'll put it that way.
Right.
I'm glad I've moved on. So, well, right on, Nathan. Hey, man, it's been great chatting with you. I'm going to be your point of contact from here on out. And there may be some other team members that get involved, but I'll always give you an introduction beforehand. But I'll get your number from Ace, and I'll text you my full name and everything like that, and you can lock me in your phone, and I'll kind of be the one. I'll be your guy. Like if you have questions, any important stuff, money stuff, concerns, anything like that, bring them all to me. But we're gonna start our process right away, and then I guess maybe we can chat tomorrow. If you can reach out to the person, like text or call, that does have your key, and just give them a heads up that you're moving forward with the sale, and then we can coordinate, because it'll probably be another couple days before I get everybody lined up for like the key exchange and all that.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want to go over a couple things real quick too before we get off. I'm almost done here. I appreciate your patience. Okay, first thing, communication is super important. You have my word. You will never go like multiple days of reaching out to me and not hearing anything. Like if I get sick or if I go on vacation or something like that, I'll always give you a heads up, and I'll have someone fill in for me if I'm like unreachable, right? But you have my word on that, because it's really important just for things to go smoothly, for us to get this done as quickly as possible. You know, I can't promise that like I'll pick up my phone on the first ring every time you call, but I'll always get back to you as soon as I'm done with what I'm tied up with. And normally it'll be within an hour or two, and then we can either text or hop on the phone or whatever's easiest. And you know, and just on the same side, I get it. Like I know you're busy and you got a life going on, but if you do see that we're reaching out, please try to get back to me same day. And then that will just help us with certain time sensitive things. Just make sure we can get you paid as quickly as possible. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll respect your time. Like I'm not gonna call you just to like talk about the football game or whatever, right? I'll make sure that it's always for a reason when I reach out. Okay, and then another thing, I know we kind of mentioned this in the paperwork. If it's probably very unlikely with this property. This tended to happen more like when the market was crazy and kind of in like the major cities. But if anyone does try to reach out to you directly, don't entertain anything from them and just let us know about it. Sometimes there's people that will like, it's a rare occasion, but they might, you know, when we do our marketing, they might skip trace the owner and try to try to reach out to you directly and pull a fast one. Just let us know about it, because if they do weird stuff like that, they're probably not like a great person, and that's probably someone we want to know about, just so we can blacklist them and not get roped into anything strange.
Right.
Okay, and then let's see, communication, everything like that, and then okay. So with the property itself, would you prefer for us to give you like a text whenever we need to access it, even when we have the key? Or is that not necessary? I just want to kind of do it however you prefer.
You know, actually, I think it might be nice to know, just to kind of, you know, I guess feel a little bit more in on what's going on.
Sure. Yeah, that's totally cool. And you know, some people too, like the neighbors are looking out for them, and then that way you know if someone's like over there and I haven't texted you, it's like, oh, call the police, right? I mean, again. Unlikely scenario, but okay, so I'll put it in your file that you would like to be notified when there's access. So a text message is fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so text when we need access to let Nathan know. Okay, cool. And then, all right, so I guess the next step is once we get a little further in our process, I'll reach out to you about coordinating the key handoff, and then probably what we'll do is we'll just hide the lockbox on somewhere where it's just not on the front door for anyone walking by. Maybe we'll put it on the back, attach it to a pipe or something, and then that way we can get access, and I'll still give you a heads up when we need to get in there.
Okay.
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me for right now?
I don't think that I do right now, no.
Okay, great. Well, I'll text you here, and actually let me do that now so I don't forget. I'm gonna text you from my iPhone here. We're talking on a computer phone right now, but I'll give you like my real cell phone just so it'll be easier. Okay, so Rich Wonders. All right, I'm texting it through right now. Okay, and then I'll give you our company name here too. Did that come through?
Looks like, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Got it right there.
Cool. Yeah, I did it from iMessage on my laptop, but okay, sweet. All right, my friend. Well, hopefully you get a good night's sleep tonight, and you got one less thing on your mind here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I'm your guy. Hey, if you have any questions or concerns, like seriously, don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's part of my job. Even if it's on a weekend, we're on a relatively same time zone, but I'll try not to get at you too early or too late. Normally from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is kind of like the sweet spot for me. But I won't call you at 2 in the morning. Try not to call me at 2 in the morning, because my wife will think something's going on. But just kidding. But yeah, just keep me in the loop, brother. I'm here for you. And my goal with anyone I work with is just to give them a 5-star experience and make it easy on them, take the load off of them. We handle all the heavy lifting, and you get to just kind of kick back and tend to your life, and then we'll just deliver the result for you. So let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, my friend. Are we all good for now?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, you have a great weekend, and I'll reach out as soon as we have some progress here and we're ready for the next step.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
All right, bye.
Bye. Cool. Let's get it. Hey, let me go through. I'll see if there's any questions in here. Not really. Luciano says I'm an artist. Appreciate you, bro. Let's get it. Seen here. So if you're on IG and you haven't subscribed on my YouTube, go on the YouTube, because that's where I'm gonna be putting more full calls. I'm gonna be doing more stuff. What's up, YouTube? Appreciate y'all. We got any questions? He said, man, you can tell this is his company. He's taking the time to explain every line in the contract. Appreciate it, bro. No worker would be that thorough. At the same time, damn, this thing is taking a long time. Yeah, and here's the thing, right? So I get that. I get it. It does take a long time, but it's a preventative thing. And actually, like, seriously, like, everyone in my company, like, we got 15 people on the team. And then even in the course, I preach to do it this exact same way. And here's the reason. If you take the time on the signing, number one, you're gonna have a much higher conversion rate because big things should take time. If they just sign it like that, you're gonna have a much higher rescission rate. Okay, and two, if you don't take the time to make them fully understand the process, you're gonna run into problems later. Okay, where, like, for example, explaining the default. I explain that at every single deal. I didn't used to do that. When I first learned how to do these, what I was told was just say, oh, read through this and sign when you're done. And people wouldn't read it and they just sign it. We had a bunch of people that would cancel. Because here's the thing, even if it's on the contract, if the people don't understand it and you don't go over with it, they don't care about the contract. They don't. Like, and everybody that's wholesale knows this. When they get pissed off, the contract means nothing. It means nothing. So it's important you use the contract as a tool for understanding and a meeting of the minds. The contract is not the end all be all. Because here's the thing, these people don't have any money most of the time. You can't sue them, and it's the wrong way to do business. It's much better to have them understand it. And this guy, he was pretty much ready to go, right? I got him, I got a $5,000 discount, but his loan didn't really allow us to go much further than that. He was ready to go. But imagine, like, if I just had him sign it and I didn't explain it, and then he finds the stuff out later, people don't like doing business like that. It's better to be upfront, and for the harder ones, they may not be all the way sold when they first hear the price. They're maybe like 60% of the way there, but they have all these questions and doubt in their mind, right? But when you go through the contract, that gives them time, one, to gain clarity. Two, you'll get a whole lot less I have to think about it. If you just have them, especially with this deal, right? There's the purchase and sale agreement. There's the the novation indemnification agreement, and then there's the AIF. That's a whole lot for them to just go sign, 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 boom. You know what I mean? They have to understand it. Otherwise, they're going to try to tackle it themselves. They're not going to understand it. Like some of the people will just sign it, like especially at lower price point houses. They'll just sign. They don't even care. But like, for example, right now, we've got a house in Scottsdale that we're selling for $1.8 million. Okay, that type of person isn't just going to just sign a contract. You have to go over everything with them for it to be clear, for there to be, eliminate any confusion. A confused mind says no, right? And with wholesale, especially if you deal with crappy houses at lower price points, it gives you this false sense of the business being easy. The higher the price point you get, the more sophistication you need to work with these sellers and get them on board. So yeah, like with this property, this is a lower price point property. This is out of my wheelhouse, but I'm, helping the JV partner out. We're gonna make some money on it. You know what I mean? And it was one that fell on my lap. So like, hey, why not? Right? But typically most of the houses we're doing are like, 200,000 and up. And really the higher the better. Those have the most room for margin, the most room to bring value to the seller. Right? Because think about it, like, okay, $50,000 house, that's normally like a wholesale. But to do like a $400,000 or $500,000 property, or even higher than that, wholesale becomes harder at that point because you need a steeper margin because they're more expensive to remodel. And if it's just dated and not trashed, wholesale may not be the solution. The better solution may be concierge service, where they can get more money than 50 cents on the dollar, and there's still room for us to make 10 to 20% of the margin. So it's still a win-win, right? They want the hands-off experience, and they're willing to take a discount, but they just can't take a wholesale discount. And the property it's not a fit to be remodeled. It may not be brand new, but it's livable, and there's buyers for it. So, sweet. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna hop off for now. For Instagram, this phone, if you can do me a big favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's this phone. And pop in there. I'm gonna be posting a lot of content this year. YouTube, I'm really gonna be going a lot harder on it. I'm gonna be posting more long form content, free trainings. There's gonna be a whole bunch of value on there, okay? Case studies, success stories, a whole bunch of cool stuff. So subscribe on there. YouTube, if you're not on my Instagram, check me out at Novation King. I do a lot of reels. I post stuff on my stories. There's a lot of value in there as well. And in my comment section, you can network with a lot of good people in there too. It's kind of like the who's who of wholesale. So mess with me on there. Appreciate y'all. Let's get it and have a good weekend here.